4 days passed before the world learned that two beloved figures in Los Angeles' music heartbeat lay dead, shot in the head, with their own gun, inside what was meant to be their sanctuary. On July 14, 2025, officers entered the Encino multi-million-dollar estate of Robin Kay and her husband Thomas DeLuca, and found the couple in separate rooms, each deceased from multiple gunshots. They had been there 4 days, unknown and unreachable. The trigger, a burglary gone wrong, but the greatest injury was not physical, it was systemic. Just 3 days earlier, on July 10 around 4 p.m., a neighbor reported seeing a man scale the 8-foot spiked wall surrounding the couple's White Oak Avenue home. Officers from LAPD's West Valley Division arrived, but, after peering through locked gates and seeing no visible signs of forced entry, left the scene. A police airship scanned the property. Nothing appeared amiss. The fortress seemed intact. No entry, no alarm, no forced breach. The intruder remained inside. Shortly after, within 40 minutes, dispatchers received a second 911 call, not from the neighbor, but from inside the home. A voice said, "Someone broke into my office. Please don't shoot me," then identified himself as Raymond Budarian, before abruptly telling dispatchers no police response was necessary. That call, now at the heart of the investigation, was from the intruder himself, confessing in real time and unintentionally mapping his own location through cell phone pinging, yet officers still did not gain access. No entry, no welfare check. The couple stayed hidden, their fates sealed behind locked doors. Surveillance footage recovered in the investigation showed Budarian entering the property by lifting the gate and slipping through an unlocked sliding glass door. He remained inside roughly 30 minutes before the couple returned from a grocery run at approximately 4:43 p.m. A confrontation ensued. The couple, both 70, walked in on the intruder. Budarian produced a firearm belonging to the couple, brought to protect, and shot them multiple times in the head, execution style, then he fled on foot. Investigators believe it was an opportunistic intrusion by a solitary individual. Days passed without contact. Concerned friends requested a welfare check. On July 14th, shortly after 2:30 in the afternoon, police entered the home via a smashed window after noticing blood by the door. They discovered Robin in the pantry and Thomas in the bathroom, both victims of gunshot wounds. The scene was grotesque in its intimacy. Lives ended inside the home they designed as a haven. On July 15th, investigators arrested 22-year-old Raymond Budarian without incident at his Encino residence. Until then, he had seemed unremarkable, living nearby with no known connection to the couple. But his past told a different story. Arrests in 2023 and 2024 for battery, brandishing a knife at his stepfather, and threatening family members, including allegedly trying to stab his mother, each dismissed months later after a court determined him mentally incompetent. On July 17th, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office formally charged Budarian with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of residential burglary. The case includes special circumstance allegations, multiple murders and murder during a burglary, which under California law expose him to life imprisonment without parole or potentially the death penalty, although the state maintains a moratorium, making execution unlikely. His arraignment is scheduled for August 20th at Van Nuys Courthouse, and he is being held without bail. The prosecution rests its case on chilling clarity. Surveillance video shows fence hopping and entrance through the unlocked door. Forensic ballistics link the couple's firearm to the fatal bullets. Fingerprints and DNA tie Budarian to the weapon and the scene, and the 911 call captures his voice, his own confession. District Attorney Nathan Hochman emphasized the god-awful irony that the murder weapon belonged to the victims, not him. At a town hall meeting packed with over 200 residents, LAPD officials faced some really fierce questioning. Deputy Chief Marla Schiaffelli pledged a review of police response protocols, noting that officers responded to 2 calls on July 10th yet, failed to enter. Captain Mike Bland urged residents to reconsider reliance on physical fortifications alone. Gates, fences, surveillance, none of that matters if doors remain unlocked. Residents, grieving and angered, demanded accountability. Why was someone with Budarian's violent history roaming free? The ripple effects are honestly profound. Robin Kay had a nearly two-decade career as a music supervisor across hit shows and pageants, earning peers' admiration. Thomas DeLuca, a songwriter and musician, released his debut album in 1986 and Street Rock in 2022. Colleagues described them as kind, intelligent, security-conscious neighbors who had consulted about alarm systems after an earlier break-in scare, yet that preparedness failed to protect them. Critics argue this case indicts not just Budarian but, systemic failures across mental health adjudication, law enforcement policies, and community awareness. The justice system dismissed minutes and again hours before lives were lost. As August 20th approaches, the courtroom showdown really intensifies. The defense may argue Budarian panicked, acting out of fear upon confrontation. Prosecutors will highlight premeditation, the fence scaling, the unlocked entrance, the deadly weapon, ironically, the victim's own. The only person to call 911 afterward was the intruder, and that call sealed his fate. More homes now review security, locking every door, adding motion lighting, installing cameras, and sharing footage among neighbors. Meanwhile, the public mourns 2 lives and honestly, laments a deeper loss of trust in protection. Robin and Thomas were planning a peaceful retirement, filled with music, travel, shared dinners, neighborhood gatherings, and, well, a real sense of belonging. But, honestly, complacency and protocol failures invited havoc right into their home. 4 days of silence, 2 911 calls, 1 tragedy, 1 system stretched to its limits. Latest updates as of July 24, 2025. Budarian remains in custody. Evidence collection is still ongoing. The LAPD response review is continuing. Arraignment is set for August 20th. Mental health and criminal justice reforms are, now under renewed debate. If you live in a gated community or have elderly neighbors, make sure every door, including those sliding glass ones, is really locked. Install fail-safe measures like motion lights, secure locks with alert systems, and shared neighborhood camera networks. Take a good look at your local police welfare check policies. Are first responders empowered to enter when there's even a hint of danger? Reach out to your city council and demand updated protocols. Don't wait until tragedy wakes you. Make protection more than just a word, make it a reality.